Hello, thank you for watching my tutorial on Paint. Today what I'm going to do is discuss some of the tools that Paint offers, as well as some of the things that can be created in Paint. Basically, answer some unanswered questions you might have about this program, and the bottom line, have a little fun. So let's talk about what some of the things you might do with Paint. Maybe you like to draw some shapes, perhaps maybe a circle, let's say. Now let's take a look at some of the options we have here along the toolbar. Here we have a pencil. Now with the pencil tool, you could draw a circle, and just by clicking and with freehand, draw that there circle. Not the greatest circle, I know. And that's alright, because the greatest thing that Paint has to offer is it allows you to draw perfect shapes. So I don't like this circle. I'm going to get a new paper here. So I select File, go down to New, and no, I don't wish to save my changes. Alright, so I've got a new sheet here. Back on the toolbar, I go down to a little bit near the bottom here, and I select the circle tool. It's actually called the ellipse. Sounds French, I know. So we click on the circle tool, and it gives us an option here. It allows us to change the thickness of the circle. If we want a thin circle, that's okay. We can have a thin circle. And just by clicking and dragging, boom, done. We got ourselves a circle. Now, of course, if I wanted a thicker circle, not a problem. Select the thicker bar line, and we've got a thicker circle. This is a fascinating device because what it allows us to do is create two different shapes with the same tool. It's quite effective. Now, what if I wanted to put this circle inside this circle? Well, I go up to my Select tool, and by clicking on that, I can select around my circle, and now I can move. Oh no, that's not going to work. See, I'm learning this program too. It's very, very confusing to use this program sometimes, and I guess that's what this tutorial is all about. So now I've got this circle. Let's work with this circle here. Let's move that guy in the center there. There, that's better. Now that's a pretty boring circle, I gotta admit. I've seen better circles. So let's add some color to it. Up along the top here, you can see we've got a color bar selecting many different fruits from the rainbow. Let's go with orange. So I select orange. Now there's many different ways I can fill in my circle. I could do it by hand by selecting the Airbrush Tool. Let's select that now. Maybe select a larger airbrush spray because it is a large circle, and just start spraying. Now that's not a bad little, we could be here all friggin' day filling this thing in. So, and I don't want to do that. So what we'll do is we'll use what's called the Fill with Color tool. Select that into the center of the circle. Voila. Now because I already used the airbrush, it's not going to fill in that area. I could be here again all day. So what I'll do is now I'm going to take the brush tool, select the brush, select the broader bristles, and there I can effectively fill in my circle with color, which I could have initially done with the fill with color, but I wanted to show you how the airbrush tool worked. It's a fancy little tool, which airbrushes very well, considering it's not a real airbrush, but a computer airbrush. Okay, I'm not going to go with every last little detail, but there's our circle. Now, what if you didn't even like circles? Circles are cool, but you know what? Let's try something new. What if you wanted a square? Well, I just select my square tool, select a thick circle, or a square line, sorry. Drag. And there we have a square. Now, what's even more fascinating about this tool is it doesn't just create squares. You can make rectangles. So now you've got squares, rectangles, circles. What else can paint do? What else could paint offer? Does it get any better? It does. We have polygons. I repeat, we have polygons. I'm getting shivers just thinking about this. So to create the polygon, we really first start with creating a line. We draw the line as such. Then I just reach over to where I want this second line to go and just click. From there I reach to a second point and click. And from there to a second point and click. And there we have the polygon. I'm just thrilled with this. This is an amazing tool. But let's move on from this. We've had circles, we've had squares, we've colored in our circles. Let's move on to something new. Let's say we want to bring in real pictures. Now I'm going to take, let's say, go to open, different strokes. I like this show. It was a pretty good show in its time. So, and of course it was on television. So let's do that. Let's put it on television. So I'm just going to select a portion of my picture here. There we go. I'm going to just try and widen my picture frame here if I can. There we go. And, whoops, what have I done? Okay. So select my picture, move it into the center, and I've got this refuge here from the bottom picture. Easy to get rid of because up here we have something else that's fascinating. It's called the eraser tool. So now of course I can select my larger eraser and start erasing. Again, such a simple tool, very effective, but this will take all day. So what I'll do is I'll move up to my select tool, select around the entire picture, right click and cut, and there, boom, it's gone. Alright, let's move on with the TV here. So we've got our picture of different strokes for different folks. Alright, we're going to go back to the square tool, and we're going to select a square. Let's start with a frame around the picture. There we go. Alright, that's not bad. Now, of course, let's make a larger frame around that. And of course, this was back in the 80s, so let's make a television that looks like it's from that time. It's a good size. Okay, so now we've got the shape, the general shape for our television set. And of course, we need to put in some color. So remember, we went back to our fill with more color. We're not going to use the airbrush because that will take all day. Select a nice grayish color, and boom, fill in our television set. Now we got to be able to turn on this television set somehow, so we're going to need some knobs. And of course, our circle tool is just perfect for that, or as Paint has called it, ellipse, the ellipse tool. So we select that. Let's use a finer line for this and just create, oh, still on the gray color here. Select two knobs at the bottom of the TV. Great. Okay, now let's change the color of these knobs. Maybe like a nice brown color. Again, fill with more and fill in our knobs. Okay, so we've got a gray TV. The knobs are full. This TV's missing something though. It's missing antennas, bunny ears. Alright, so let's go back to the pencil tool. No, wait, we can't use the pencil tool. If you remember from the circle, the pencil tool just draws really crappy lines. You really can't get a decent shape out of those. So we're not going to use the pencil tool. The geniuses here with the Created Paint, they've actually given you a line tool, which helps you draw straight lines. We're going to pick a nice lighter color for the bunny ears. Select the line tool. And simply just draw, maybe on an angle here. Oh, maybe that's too small. A little wider. There we go. We got some nice bunny ears happening. We got one there, and another one there, maybe not quite as tall, give it some sort of effect. And there we have it. Different strokes on television, on paint. Well, there we are. The tutorial's over. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope some unanswered questions were answered about the sophisticated program of Paint. And have some fun out there. Play around. There's lots you can do. Thank you.